Hi, I'm doing a reading at the moment for Sagittarius for April 2023. I'm using the Slavic folklore lenormand deck. So many lenormand decks now, but this one tends to be really lovely imagery, and I've noticed slightly different interpretations to a standard lenormand deck based on the imagery and the folklore components. Sagittarius, April 2023. Starting with 2 for general life, 2 for love, 2 for career and finances, 1 for general health. Okay, so for your general life portion at the moment, we've got the ring and the lily. So relationships are going to be of importance this month for you guys. Not just love relationships, but friendships, work relationships, all sorts of relationships are going to be important this month, especially remembering our values within relationships, displaying kindness to the people that we love and care about, the people that we come into contact with on a regular basis. That's going to be important this month. As you can see in the lily card in this deck, it's like the frog prince kind of imagery there. There's a teeny tiny little frog. I don't know if you can see it there. But basically having respect and kindness to even the smallest relationships in your life this month is going to be important for you, just in a general sense this month. So yeah, they're both very positive cards, and the lily can actually speak to like long term. So the basis of the relationships that you make now could actually become really important in the future for you. So even when you want to snap at someone or whatever, show that kindness, that inner moral code of your own there, and cooperation within these relationships is going to be really important, because it can actually speak to the longer term with this card. And when it comes to love, this month we have the book and the anchor for you guys. So this is actually a really interesting combination, because the anchor can usually talk about like stuck energy, but the book talks about new chapters and new beginnings, writing the next chapter of your life. So when it comes to the book and the anchor together, it will be talking actually more about creating things that are going to start new beginnings when it comes to your stability and security, the things that anchor you in this life. So the things that really anchor you down, ground you, starting new chapters in those, maybe gaining a little bit more knowledge around what you actually want. So in this particular deck, this can actually talk a bit about restraint. So you think about an anchor, it holds the ship still. So maybe it's talking about just having that stillness to actually think about where you actually want to go with all the relationships. Obviously the love aspect, relationships in your life, and remaining strong and firm in those, leading you toward, because the symbology with the anchor also, it connects to the ship. So the ship talks about, your ships are coming in sort of theory. So you do need to have a good strong anchor to be able to have those ships go the distance and bring that boatload of cargo to you. So it's really talking about, you know, writing your own story and working out what it is that holds you strong and firm in your love relationships. Now, with your health and finances, sorry, not your health, your career and finances, we've got the Tower and the Man. So this is actually an interesting combination, because with the Tower and the Man together, it's actually talking more about a specific person. So it's talking more about somebody who is older than you, specifically a male, like a more masculine figure. Not necessarily a male, but a more masculine dominated person. So they would be portraying those masculine traits, so to speak. But they're going to be either older than you or from your past, and they're actually going to play a big part in your career and finances in this coming month. So whether I'm actually going to pull a clarifier on that and ask what role this male will be playing when it comes to your career and finances, please. Okay, so the House. We've got the House, so that's talking about tradition and stability and security. You know, home is where the heart is. That's sort of a vibe. Safety. You know, that's where you feel, that's your bubble. That's where you feel safest and secure. So it could actually be talking about, I feel like it could actually be talking about, you know, the industry of real estate may actually be important to you in some factor. Obviously, that's not going to resonate with everybody, but this man could actually be somehow linked to housing or real estate when it comes to your career or finances. So my main outpouring with that would be that you're heading in the direction of that stability and security that you want for your career and your finances. And if there is a particular male that you are aware of that is older than you or linked to your past, they may be able to help give you some stability and security when it comes to your finances or your career at this time. Your general health, we've actually got the Clover, which is a really lucky sort of card, standalone card that, you know, it speaks to good luck. You know, we all look for that 4-leaf clover, but it can also talk about taking a risk. So, you know, if there's something health-wise that you feel like you need to take a bit of a risk with, it's sort of telling you you've got some short-term luck, go for it. So at the moment, it is a short-term sort of card, but this reading is for the month of April. So short-term for the period of April, you should have general good luck around your health. That is actually one of the best cards in the deck when it comes to, you know, good luck, happiness, those sorts of things. So when it comes to health, that I would say that is, you know, all systems go. You know, prosperity and joy as well. So remembering to, you know, just think positively, and that good luck will flow through you as well. Okay, now for your shadow work portion. Shadow work can be a very controversial topic, but I find it is very important to talk about our shadow work. And I personally would like to be giving everybody, you know, I'll probably call it homework, but it's not really homework. You know, you don't have to do anything. I'm just going to be giving you some things that you might want to look at this month in order to move forward in life, to find more happiness and love in your life, to work through, you know, any past trauma or drama that you may have in your life. You know, life is a constant journey. We all need to be working on being happy. It's a choice we make every single day to be happy or not. You know, so shadow work is very important when it comes to facing yourself in order to find that happiness and work through things that do not bring you happiness. Okay, so for the month of April 2023, shadow work aspects, please. Okay, firstly, we have the letter. So the letter is all about communication. So it can be an old school mail, an old letter, like writing down your feelings, you know, journaling about the things that, you know, have affected you in your life. It can also talk about just general communication, the way that you're speaking to others, and how you want to actually move that forward with your life. If you want to keep talking to others the way that you currently are, if you want to try to communicate better, that's a big highlight on communication. And even as I'm saying that, I'm getting a little bit choked up. So it's like I do feel like it's something about the way that we're voicing ourselves and the way that we're expressing ourselves and communicating our true feelings. I feel like that's something that you may need to just stop and look at and think about, you know, before you send that text. Double check it, read it, make sure you're happy with the message that it sends. And, you know, like, it's perfectly fine to delete, rewrite, just so that you know that the message is getting across the way that you intend it to. Okay, and second card we have with your shadow work, one of the harder cards in the deck. This is the grave, which traditionally is like in the traditional lenormand is the coffin card. So it talks about, you know, like endings and new beginnings, things needing to end in order to begin anew. Okay, so but for shadow work, I would be sticking with, you can probably see along here, each card does have a few little keywords along the bottom, and the ones on here are death, sadness, and mourning. So I feel like that's a message for somebody in particular, that there may be someone who has passed in your life and you may not have actually dealt with it as well as you thought you had, or you may still be dealing with that now. So it's how you're dealing with mourning and grief and loss in your life. How are we dealing with those things? Is there more work that needs to be done with the way that we're dealing with our sadness? Instead of pushing it aside and trying to ignore it, we do need to work through those things. You know, grief and loss, unfortunately, is something that everybody goes through at some stage in life. And it's how you deal with it and get back up the next day and move on again. It's obviously never something that goes away immediately, but, you know, every day that we make a conscious effort to accept those feelings and try to move forward with them, it's going to be for you and your own betterment to deal with those things. And even if you can't deal with them straight away, to accept them. It's sad. You feel sad. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly normal to feel sad when you lose something in your life, whether it be a person or something else altogether. It is perfectly normal. You know, so, but there is quite a lot of symbolism in this card as well. And I feel that with the dragon having the butterfly wings, that also is a message to you that remember that everything happens for a reason. And sometimes the scary things that freak us out a bit, scare us, they do bring their own kind of transformation. Okay, and so what will be shall be. So unfortunately, there's a lot of hard things in this life that we do need to deal with. Death and loss being a big one. So it's just asking you to stop and think about that at the moment in your life. So I'm sorry to bring up such a hard topic. Shadow work is always difficult. And anyone that says that it's easy and that you're not having to face some really hard things, they're probably lying to you, because shadow work is tough. That's why a lot of people run away from it. But those are the things: communication and loss and mourning. Those are the things coming up for you this month with your shadow work. Let me know how you guys go.